Alright, hey everybody, Johnny Klimax here. Welcome to another episode of Klimax's Collector's Closet. Well, that's Jose, and we are going to be going over modern gaming versus old school retro gaming while playing a little Virtua Fighter 2 on the Sega Saturn. What is your opinions on this, Jose, right off the bat? Because I know you're a fighting game kind of guy.
I'm a fighting game kind of guy, but, you know, these old systems are dog shit compared to the new stuff, but it's fine. I'm sure it'll still be fun kicking the crap out of you, you know.
Well, why do you think it's crap in comparison to the older or the newer systems?
It's just as simple as like we've made improvements and in pretty much every single aspect. Even just like the technical stuff of just like how tight controls feel. Like it's not even like all about like just like graphics, the improvement of that sort of stuff. It's like character design has gotten more interesting. It's more just like character design has gotten better. Like there's more interesting characters. Yeah, there's like still like plenty of like recycled stuff, but I just like the different style, like in like with the advancement of like technology and all that stuff. Like the different like variations of like characters, things that the characters can actually do, like everything from like your new Dragon Ball Z fighting games to your like everything based on like honestly like popular like Japanese manga and anime and all that sort of stuff. They even have some pretty tight fighting games, like, and they just keep improving on like these like tried and true things, like for example, like I really actually dig the new Naruto fighting game, the newest one that came out like this past year. And they pretty much use like the old like whatchamacallit, the like Marvel vs. Capcom like team sort of style like to it, and I really dig it actually. It's
okay. So I mean, you don't necessarily like hate retro gaming. It's more why go back to it when you have something that is that much better.
Yeah, like there's just like it's just so much more. I don't know, just something about like retro gaming. It's like, and it doesn't help that like I suck dick at like, you know, like at like old school systems like this, honestly. But yeah, it's just it's hard to get into it sometimes, unless it's like for fighting games especially, just because I enjoy them, and like I'll still throw down with like some like old school like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. But like a lot of it is just like it does like RPGs and stuff like that are okay just because it's like the story and like some of the intricate like gameplay and doing that sort of stuff like isn't as like reliant on like the graphics being pleasing and all that sort of stuff.
Okay, so you're more story based than actual function based sometimes when it comes to retro gaming. Like if you're going to choose retro gaming, you're going to go with something more like a JRPG or something that's going to be more story based. The graphics, you know, might be lacking, but at the same time, you know, you still get the gist of it. You still have fun playing it. Versus where like a fighting game, the mechanics are a little bit choppy, like what we're playing right now, which is Virtua Fighter 2, which is, in my opinion, a very like staple for modern games. Like this is one of the first modern fighting games there is. Even like, you know, say more so than Mortal Kombat or even Street Fighter. Like this is one of the first 3D arcade style games for a home console system. It's not the first, but it's, you know.
No, like yeah, that's true, and like it is influential. Like I'm not ragging on and say it's like not an influential game, but it's like once you play like, let's say like the new Injustice or like Mortal Kombat X or something, like just like how responsive like the controls and like the things you do are, and like just like the like I mean like it gives you like you get the breakdown like of like the frames that like, and like you kind of take for granted maybe in like modern games now, But it's like when you go back to play something like this, you can kind of feel a little bit. And you're like, oh man, like I know I pressed like such and such command in properly, but it apparently didn't like register, and just like stuff like that can kind of
mess with you a little bit. But I mean, don't you find some kind of charm in that? Like, well, I mean, me personally, I prefer.
If I wanted charm, I would watch a Wes Anderson film. I don't need my video games to be charming. I want them to be responsive and fun to play, because the game does what what it's supposed to do when it's supposed to.
Oh, I mean, I get what you're saying, but is part of it because you're just playing bad at these games, or is it just because?
No, like I would honestly like
do you think you're still bad at like the modern fighting games? Like, you know what I mean? Like
I'm not particularly great at fighting. Like, I just enjoy them. Like, I enjoy like.
So you're like me then, just.
Yeah. Like I do it for more than enjoyment. Like when I go on like online and play like some like Mortal Kombat or Injustice like online, I get my shit pushed in most of the time. But it's like no, but I still enjoy it. It's still like a like fun and like yeah, it's not all about the graphics, but if anything, I would just say more. It's like I've always like had a thing against like there's certain like retro like fighting games where it's like not even so much like not dependent like on your like response time, but more like some of those games like where it's like it doesn't really necessarily matter like if your mechanics are like that awesome, because like if you just like happen to know like these complicated commands and like it's like, oh well, blah blah blah, like, and I don't know, it's
so like a Dead or Alive versus like a Tekken versus like
like let's say like if you just like happen to be decent like at like a game that I enjoy, but like a Street Fighter, like old school Street Fighter, when like if you were like Guile, you could just like pretty much just like cheese your way to like automatic victory, pretty much, like, you know, shit like that, just because it's like, oh, I know how to do like a Sonic Boom, and I can do like his moonsault kick, and it's just like, oh yeah, so it's like,
hey, you got one
finally. But it's like, you know, it, as opposed to like you said, like maybe like more of Dead or Alive, where it's like, no, you have to like actually have like be quick on your fingers and like be responsive with like blocks and like counterattacks and all that sort of stuff.
But I mean, so you've played these games before. Obviously, you're a gamer. You consider yourself a gamer.
Yep.
You do own a PlayStation 4, and you do obviously play a lot of games. Do you buy any like the classic, like, you know, like retro games like brought to the PlayStation 4, like, you know, like Mega Man or any like the legacy like editions?
Yeah, like I'll like still fuck around with that sort of stuff. It's still like, it's like I have nothing against like old school games, like let's say like in like a vacuum. This is important in the sense that it's like the building blocks of like going towards like better games. And the thing is like I'm well aware that like in, you know, like in a few years, like the games that I find really enjoyable and like I adore right now, like are gonna be like go by the wayside, and I'm gonna be like, oh, I can't believe I used to like enjoy playing that game.
I do love like the modern Tomb Raider games. I do enjoy some of the first-person shooter games in comparison to like, you know, Halo, where they've come from, like especially games like God of War. That's cinematically just beautiful. Uncharted 4, the new Shadow of the Tomb Raider game. Those games have a lot of Spider-Man. You know, they have a lot of good qualities to them that like I would rather play those games over really any retro game. Don't get me wrong. I do enjoy modern gaming as well. It's just there is something just fun about still playing, like, you know, Halo 1 for the first time, like on the original system, and or, you know, like this Virtual Fighter for like the Sega Saturn, which is my all-time, you know, favorite system. Is going to be the Sega Saturn, and I do enjoy the flaws of this game,
Yeah.
especially since this is like the dawn of 3D graphics and 3D gaming. The Sega Saturn was not meant to have games like Virtual Fighter. It was really primarily made for like 2D platform games, which it's a little bit more known for, and that's why in comparison to like the PS1, it didn't age well. Yes, I think we should agree to disagree that we do have our different views on retro gaming and modern gaming, and
I think we have different views on a lot of stuff, actually.
That is true. That is true. But again, going back to gaming in particular, I think we should maybe have a few more discussions like this and not try to convince each other, but just preach our argument a little bit more.
I don't know if you're gonna be able to get me every time, but we'll see.
Okay. Well, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, that said, this has been our first episode of the series of Klimax Collector, blah, 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 blah. Climaxes. Yeah.
This is all staying in, by the way.
This is all staying in. Klimax's Collector's Closet. See, like I said, that was a mouthful before. But this is going to be our first discussion part of the series of retro gaming versus modern gaming. Well, that said, please, if you like what you saw today, hit the subscribe button below.
Yeah,
and if you have any
thumbs up, that'd be cool too.
That would be awesome. And also please comment on maybe some topics that you would want to hear from a modern gamer and a retro gamer. Anyway, well, my name is Johnny Klimax. This is Jose.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys have a good night.
Or don't.
Or don't.
Let me kick you now.
Ah, fuck, I'm losing. See, this is what happens. You don't pay attention and you start winning.